Hey guys, welcome back to Pass Forward. It is my birthday tomorrow and I allow myself to some indulgence. I picked this one because it's luxurious, it's velvety and a little exotic, and even the name is almost entirely marketing. Hummingbird cake. It's not a Jamaican origin and it's not even southern US. Everything about this is a lie. Some plane tickets are the real reason why we eat it today. Or in this case, tomorrow. Let's make it, shall we? So we got a scale. First we weigh our dry ingredients. And we have here, what do we have? 375 grams of flour. I use high-grade cake flour, naturally. 375. That's it. And 400 grams of caster sugar. Jeez, that's a lot, hey? Might be American after all. 1 teaspoon baking soda. 1 teaspoon fine salt. And 2 teaspoons ground cinnamon. 1, 2. So, now we preheat the oven to 160 degrees and we prepare chopping the nuts and roasting them. We got pecan nuts here. I love pecan nuts. We keep some for decorating later. And as soon as the oven is warm, we're gonna roast them. So now come the wet ingredients. We take 3 eggs. Ugh. That got stuck in there. Jeez. 180 milliliters oil. And 2 teaspoons of the vanilla extract. So the pecans came out of the oven and smell nice. And now I am mashing those bananas here. This goes easier as I thought. I don't know why I thought this was hot. So now we're gonna whip the wet ingredients. So now we put the dry ingredients in. So we now have this thick consistency. We're gonna add the bananas. That's gonna make the give it the moisture it needs. And yeah. And we have something healthy, a little pineapple. I didn't know those little jars existed until now. So this is crushed pineapple, 220 grams crushed pineapple in juice. Ooh, that slaps. And then the nuts. The nuts have been toasted. I sort out the ones that I put aside for the decoration. All good ones. And the rest goes in. They do smell good, hey? Oh, I like that. It's a nice, interesting combination, hey? The pecan nuts and the pineapple and the banana. Oh, I might want to do this over there. So, now, we fill this in our cake form. So this now goes in the oven on 160 degrees for about 50 to 70 minutes, low and slow. You could wrap a wet towel around it. That will make the cake rise evenly and not hotter on the outside and cooler on the inside, so the temperature stays even. But I put it in like that. That looks good. We're done. So now let's have this cake cool 10 minutes in that tin and then flip it and put it on a wire rack to cool it completely before we're cutting it open and frost it. So now while the cake is cooling, let's do the frosting. For that, I need a whole pack of 227 grams of cream cheese, 115 grams of butter, unsalted butter, 108, 115, man. And 500 grams of icing sugar. Hold on, the recipe is saying 500 grams. This is the whole freaking pack. We had already 400 grams of sugar in the cake, and now 500 grams of sugar in here. That's some sugar, hey? Now 1 teaspoon of the vanilla. I do it by eye. That's a good teaspoon. The whole pack. Can't believe it. Oh, so while this is coming together, let me tell you the story about the name, because it's actually named after a bird. It is the doctor bird, Jamaica's national bird. It's a hummingbird with a long forked tail. It's often called the red-tailed streamer bird. And Ian Fleming, the guy who wrote the James Bond novels, who lived in Jamaica, where he wrote all those, he once described the bird as one of the most beautiful birds in the world. But would you expect that nobody actually agrees why this cake has the name the hummingbird cake? Some say the cake is so sweet and decorated with all the flowers and stuff. If it would be left outside, it would actually attract hummingbirds. Other people say it is so delicious that when people eat it, they actually hum. Some say that in the cake, the streaks of banana look like the yellow streaks on the hummingbird. Nobody actually agrees on that, and nobody actually settled on that. So yeah, take your pick. But here comes the twist. This cake was actually never a Jamaican classic or a South American classic. In 1978, the Jamaican Tourist Board sold this recipe to American food editors as part of a tourism campaign for Jamaica. And this year, Air Jamaica was very brand new and put this cake on the menu of the plane. So everybody was just believing that this is a Jamaican cake. However, the way this cake is structured, this actually has British roots. So 10 years later, this recipe landed in the Southern Living magazine, sent in by a reader from North Carolina, claiming it was his grandmother's recipe. And here we are. It became the most requested recipe from that magazine of all times. So that cake was actually invented to sell plane tickets. That's all it was. So we're gonna leave this cool down completely before we put that frosting on. And then we just decorate and eat it. Let's see how it is. Now let's cut that cake and put the frosting on. Okay. Oh. So now comes a generous layer of frosting. Four o'clock and the guests are coming in half an hour, so let's decorate that beautiful cake. We get some gold dust, we got some sprinkles, not sure about them yet, and we get some flowers. So definitely the gold dust. It's windy enough for that. Question is, no. That's it. That's my birthday cake for me today. Hummingbird cake as advertised.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, darling.